Greetings, comrades. Bobcat here in the Art Mines Turbo Doge van. It is a hot last day of June. I just came from checking out a new gun store and range up in Glen Burnie that I'm going to hopefully get in some practice shots at later. Picked up a little bit of ammunition. Good price too. And speaking of guns and all of that, I wanted to tell you my 2 cents about the latest Supreme Court ruling with firearms. Now, there are a whole bunch of other Supreme Court rulings that me, as a big old leftist commie princess, wildly disagree with, but I'm not on the Supreme Court, so there's very little I can do about it. But the one thing that I do agree with, the one ruling that just came out at the end of their term is, nice bike, is, I forget the name of the case, but it's something versus New York, where they have decided that a state being a may issue state, a state requiring good cause to have a concealed carry or a wear and carry permit, as the state of Maryland does, that good cause not being well defined, being subject to the whims of a sheriff or a judge or a county clerk, or being subject to some arbitrary thing, that was unconstitutional, and that I absolutely agree with. The state of Maryland is a may issue state. In fact, if you are in the state of Maryland, there's a group that I recommend you look up and give you support to called Maryland Shall Issue. They're trying to change the state of Maryland from a may issue state to a shall issue state, like New York, because New York was a may issue state. Maryland also requires good cause, and some of those good causes make perfect sense. A good cause being you work in a job where you got to carry around a lot of money. My therapist has a concealed carry permit, a wear and carry permit, under their good cause because they're a small business, they deal with money, and so they qualified for that. And that was an arduous process, so they told me there were interviews and reference checks and all that jazz. Or if you are in a type of line of work that you kind of make some enemies, like a prosecutor, a judge, a bail bondsman, a parole officer, a corrections officer. Well, I guess if you're part of the state, you kind of get to carry anyway. But you're in a line of work that you have pissed people off and have made yourself a target. Perfectly reasonable. Another good cause that I absolutely concur with is you're a victim of domestic violence. The vast majority of the homicides of women in this country are from intimate partner violence. People they knew, people they were in intimate relationships with that killed them. And they need to be able to defend themselves. 100% agree. Go for it. Get it. But for everybody else, even with the training requirement, even with the classroom, the background check, the fingerprints, the reference checks, all that jazz, even with all of that, Maryland could still say, no. So, this New York case can set a pretty good precedent for getting that overturned. And I know Maryland isn't the only other state that has it. I think there's like 8 other states. I'm not as well informed about the rest of the country's rules on that sort of thing as I am about Maryland, because I live here. So I'm going to keep an eye out on how this unfolds for the state of Maryland, and then I'm going to apply for a wear and carry permit. I have just as much right to defend myself as any of the other people listed, and requiring that I give a good cause, I believe is unconstitutional. And I also want to help other people, other queer people, transgender people, immigrants, black and brown people that are vulnerable in their communities. I want to help them be able to defend themselves. So I'm going to go through the process. As soon as I know that once I go through whatever that process is, I will get one. I'll go through the process and I'll walk you through it, what it's like, what I had to do, and how much it cost. Because it isn't cheap. You know, all of this takes money and takes time, and time is money. So anyway, that's the biggest thing coming out, in my opinion. You know, the abortion ruling, I think, is some baloney, some malarkey. If you don't want an abortion, I respect that. Don't get one. But to deny a woman their right to health care and autonomy over their own body, to make them carry a pregnancy that they don't want to term, I think is cruel and unjust. And forced pregnancies are against the Geneva Convention. And if you're like, oh, they can just adopt, well, there are 400,000 children in foster care right now. So, you know, who's adopting them? Because clearly that's not happening also. So that's a big one that burns my bacon, and I'm right upset about that. I hope you are too. So, but anyway, this firearms case, very important, very big precedent being set, and I'll let you know how that shakes out for the state of Maryland. Otherwise, I'm busy with work. The Art Minds Sunflower Studio renovation is underway. I've got some new drawings and some plans that I'm going to be going over, getting estimates for, and need to start planning out how the hell I'm going to build this thing. Because I'm going to be building it. And yeah, training certifications. I'm looking to get LEED certified, which is an environmental building certification, green energy, that kind of jazz. And God, I need a vacation. I need a vacation so bad. And it's going to have to wait a little while. But at least, hey, it's 4th of July. Ooh, this late ends. 4th of July weekend. So I hope to get to do a hell of a lot of nothing for at least the next 3 days. 3.5 days, because I still have Friday to work. So I hope you are safe and well fed wherever you are. I wish you mucho, mucho amor. Remember, kids, if you're going to play with fireworks, do it at somebody else's house. And please be careful. Don't hurt your dumb ass doing dumb things with fireworks. Go see a show somewhere. They're free everywhere. But yeah, practice your dry fire skills. Tell people you love them. Be kind, and be ready. Cheers.